welcome to another episode of the Business Leadership Series with CIMA. Today we are here for an insightful conversation with a well-renowned personality, Mrs. Indresh Puvimanasinghe Fernando. Thank you for being here with us, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so just to dive right into the questions for you, ma'am, could you take us through how the CGMA qualification has helped you in your career and within the accounting and finance function itself as well?
Okay, so I've been an accountant by profession for the last 30 odd years. Actually, it's my 31st year. And it may surprise you to know that when I started, I didn't really want to be a working woman. I didn't want a career. And so introduction to CIMA or CIMA was to make my dad happy. It was not driven by ambition or passion for accounting. My dad is the one who introduced me to CIMA, because at the time, I think for him this was an acceptable professional qualification for his daughter. But as time went by and circumstances changed, I was a young mom of 2 kids, amazing kids, and I suddenly realized that working had to be a part of my life. And so began my career. Luckily, I found out that I was quite good at my job. I was able to earn the respect from my bosses and my people I worked with, my peers. So, that's one thing about CIMA, because it's not a simple accounting qualification. It's more a qualification suitable for business.
Okay.
And business excited me. How I could bring value to business, add value to business, excited me. Yeah. So that's how I got involved and started my career. I started as an audit clerk in a reputed audit firm. And moved to being an accountant, a financial controller, to sector finance director, and where I am today. So all in all, looking back, I'm quite, it fills me with pride that I was a young girl with absolutely no ambition or career plans, and I'm here.
It's lovely. It definitely is. Thank you for sharing the story with us. Also, if you could just take us a little bit about how your experience in the finance function has helped you with the career progression that has led you to your current position now, which is the Group Chief Process Officer. How has it helped you? Could you take us through that?
So I think, experience in finance, knowledge in finance will help any role.
Okay.
Right. So today my role is mainly process improvements to enhance customers' experience and productivity, and of course procurement. So both these roles or any other role that is given to me is driven by my experience in finance, whether I want to quantify the measurement in terms of improvement, or whether it's a byproduct of procurement, which is inventory management, whatever it is always driven by my experience in finance and my experience in multiple industries.
Okay, so since we're talking about success, could you also tell us a little bit, or what advice would you give to the young professionals in order for them to succeed? And what are the behavioral traits, or like the key behavioral traits that one should have to succeed in the corporate world?
So I think our new generation is extremely smart, and they're like leaps ahead of us. And my advice is based on my experience, not any management book, right? So the first thing is, I think we must always look at value creation, that whatever role we play, right? And be able to quantify the value we bring into the business, because that's everything. So whether it's through analytics, whether it's through working capital management, whether it's getting the right business account, whatever it is, always look at value creation and ensure that it drives you. Secondly, you have to like what you do. We all say this. You have to love what you do, because that's when the best of you comes out. But in reality, we all don't get to do what we are most passionate about, right? So in that case, evolve your work so that it excites you, so that you get up in the morning excited to go to work. When something excites you, the best of you comes out. That's why. Thirdly, make sure and be aware of mental health. Because it's something we are all talking about today, because and also like some people don't want to talk about it because there's shame associated with it, but it isn't. You need to be smart, be aware of it and safeguard that, because it is under pressure today because of the race we are all running, right? Fourthly, you have to not be insecure, and if you're a team leader, make sure that the team members are smarter than you, because that's when the team goes into a different direction, right? So don't be insecure. Have smart people working for you and working with you, right? Also, in terms of behavioral traits, dependability. Your word must be everything. So if you say, I'm going to commit to a deadline, ensure it's committed. Accountability. Take accountability when your team goes wrong. We don't do that often. Integrity. Always do the right thing when no one is watching, right? So at the end of the day, ensure your inner circle, whether it's family or friends or a combination, is people who cheer you on when you're not doing too well as well, right? So these are all things. Some of it I have learned the hard way, and some are based on my experience, for you to thrive, not survive in the corporate world.
Yes, very important. Also, just to speak about leadership, what do you think is the most significant barrier for women in leadership, and how do you propose that we encourage more representation within the industries and sectors?
So we talk about this in every forum, in every conference, in interviews like this, and there has been progress, but the fact is that women are underrepresented in the workplace, especially in senior positions, right? Leadership and gender, there's no connection, right? Leadership is getting somebody who is more suited. But if you look at facts, if you take the Fortune 500, only about 7 to 8% are run by women, right? If you take the global workforce, 50% is the female participation, whereas male participation is about 80%. If you take Sri Lanka, according to the statistics, the female participation is about 30 to 32, right? Despite the fact that if you take our young graduates, about 60 to 64% is female. So before even they can come to the workforce, there is an obstacle that doesn't allow them to come, right? So that's where it starts. So obviously there are many barriers, but I'm just going to take one or two because of the timing factor. The first thing is our culture, our society, our families, where we put the burden on a woman, young woman, where we say, you have to choose between a successful family life with kids versus career, right? Having a family life, successful family life, is not only on the woman, it's between the two people that decide to do it. So I think that's where it starts. The barrier starts there way before it comes to the workplace. And when we come to the workplace, I think out of all the barriers, the barrier that strikes me, one or two barriers that strikes me as the key one, is the fact that before a person goes for the interview, even the company has decided this role is for a man, or this role is better played by a man. That decision or occupational segregation happens before a woman even goes for an interview. And they just tick the box saying that, okay, women and men have come for the interview. And as a result, you may not get the most suited person for the job, right? Secondly, obviously sexual harassment at the workplace. This happens everywhere for men as well. But the numbers are higher for women. So we have great policy documents and stuff saying, okay, we have zero tolerance, but we don't execute it. So, it's up to our leaders. It starts with us. It starts with you and me. As young leaders, CEOs, managing directors, walk the talk. Make the workplace safe for women and for men. Right? Encourage young moms, whether it's flexi hours, whether it's having a creche, whether it's ensuring fairness at the workplace, so that a woman who is suitable gets the opportunity. I mean, we certainly don't want a free ride, right? We don't want to tick the box and say, okay, a board seat is vacant for a woman, so go there. I would want to get a job if I'm the most suitable candidate. So my thing is, talking is great like this, but there is a lot of responsibility on women leaders today, whether you're leading a team, whether you're leading a company, to actually walk the talk. Instead of having policy documents, instead of going and talking, make it happen.
Yes.
Right. Plus, even organizations like CIMA, go to the universities, strengthen the women who are doing their degrees and academic qualifications to say that you don't need to limit yourself. You can come to the workplace and have a successful family life. So it starts with us.
It definitely does. And just as a final question, to just know a little bit more about you, could we know what you do or what your favorite activities are to relax and unwind? And also, how do you maintain a work-life balance?
Work-life balance has evolved for me. What I did as a young mom with 2 small children is very different to what I do today. So at the start, when I was just starting my career, I would work really hard, and when I come home, my work is done. So that was my philosophy. When at work, it was work. Priority was work. When at home, priority was family. And I was lucky because the environments and my bosses helped me with that. So at the end of the day, whatever it is, make sure you have that balance. And how do you do the balance? It differs from person to person. But for me, it was my inner circle, my friends and family. They were the ones who gave me the balance. So whether it was hanging out with them, whether it was having a glass of wine with them, whether it was watching a movie, we made sure we factored that into our lives. It was the same for them. I also, bring my spirituality a little bit more now, because now my children are young adults. So I now bring exercise and spirituality a little bit more, but my inner circle plays a huge role. So, all in all, I think each of us must find what balances, what factors balance us, and ensure that is part of our lives. Because in life, even though so many challenges are thrown at us and we fall, all in all, life is great. It's amazing. And we should make sure that we don't miss out on any part of our life.
Very well said, and thank you so much for speaking to us, Indresh. It's been a true honor speaking to you and hearing about your journey. Wishing you all the very best for the future and looking forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the near future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and wish you all the very best.
Thank you. And well, that's it from us from the leadership series with CIMA. Looking forward to bringing you yet another episode with another eminent personality.